Now, we start with breaking news. The new jobs report and the president's tariffs are dragging down U.S. markets at this moment.
The price of beef is skyrocketing to a record high. And
Costco has announced the U.S. trade war with China will lead to higher prices at its stores.
What if even Costco, the last place for good deals, isn't safe anymore? In July, shoppers across U.S. Costco stores were hit with a surprise. Prices on everyday staples like flour, milk, and oil have nearly doubled. In just a few months, what you used to buy for $20 now costs $40. And it's not a one-off spike. Things are still getting worse. People are frustrated. With the same paycheck, you now walk away with half the groceries. Costco, once a budget-friendly go-to, is turning into a battleground where rising costs quietly chip away at the average American's daily life. So what's really happening behind those warehouse doors? And if even Costco is struggling to keep prices low, how are regular people supposed to cope in the months ahead? Let's break it down in today's video. Note, this video is an independent analysis based on public sources. It does not represent any organization or political stance. We encourage you to think critically and share your thoughts in the comments. At one point, a 10-pound bag of Kirkland all-purpose flour was just $6.99, enough for weeks of baking. But now, in states like Texas, Illinois, and Pennsylvania, that same bag is going for $13.49. Organic flour? Up to $29. What once felt like a basic purchase now feels like a luxury. That $13.49 used to get you 10 pounds. Today, just 5. Even worse, shoppers are now forced to choose a bag of flour, a gallon of milk, or just enough gas for a few days. Yet in Canada, the same 10 pounds flour sells for $6.50 to $7.50 USD. Why? It all started in March 2025, when the U.S. slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian imports. In response, Canada restricted exports of wheat and oats, key ingredients Costco relied on. That pushed Costco to source from Europe and Australia, where costs are higher and delivery takes longer. Shipping doubled. Storage costs climbed. Everything from inspection to preservation added to the final price, and customers are paying for it. This shift isn't just a spreadsheet issue. It's hitting kitchen tables. Parents now question whether they can afford homemade pancakes. Seniors hesitate before baking a loaf of bread. And bakeries? Many are bleeding money. One in Iowa said the flour price hike added $400 to their monthly expenses, nearly a third of their profit. Some had to cut hours, lay off workers, or close for part of the week just to survive. But Americans are adapting. Some grind oats at home. Others try rice, bean, or almond flour. Some return to old recipes, simpler, cheaper, with fewer ingredients. Small communities are even pooling money to buy in bulk. The hardest part? It's the pause. That moment where you stand in the aisle and ask, do I bake today or save that money for gas, meds, or fruit? That pause says everything. Even olive oil, once a Costco staple, has seen prices soar. What used to be a $17 2-pack of Kirkland extra virgin olive oil is now $36 to $40 in cities like LA, Detroit, and Phoenix. Same oil, same bottle, just twice the cost. It's no longer just a shopping trip. It's a series of small trade-offs, tiny battles fought every day in homes across America. And those choices are reshaping how we live. What happens when olive oil, chicken, and coffee, once everyday staples, start feeling like luxury items? For retirees living on fixed incomes, an $18 price jump isn't small. It's the difference between a gallon of oil, 2 bags of flour, or a few days of gas. One shopper joked that olive oil now costs more than dinner for 2. But here's what's strange. In Canada, prices haven't jumped like this. At Costco in Toronto or Vancouver, a bottle still sells for $18 to $19 USD. The reason? Trade policies. In early 2025, the U.S. slapped 25 to 35% tariffs on olive oil from Spain and Italy, Costco's main suppliers. Canada didn't, thanks to its deal with the EU CETA, keeping prices steady. Costco has few options. U.S. olive oil production in California is struggling. Droughts, high labor costs, and water prices that tripled since 2023. Farm worker wages are now over $16 per hour. That makes it hard for even Costco to keep olive oil affordable. For older Americans who use olive oil for heart health, this price hike stings. Some are switching to soybean or corn oil, cheaper, but higher in omega-6, which may fuel inflammation. Others are trying flaxseed oil or carefully sourced canola. Still, the bigger worry is clear. When a basic health food becomes expensive, is it just inflation, or is healthy living slipping out of reach? And it's not just oil. A 4.4 pounds bag of frozen chicken at Costco used to cost $8 to $9. Now, it's over $16, sometimes $18 in places like Nevada and Texas. And this didn't happen overnight. The price climbed slowly, week by week, until shoppers started noticing their monthly grocery bills rising by $30 to $40. Even chicken sausages, an easy protein for older adults, have spiked. In Calgary, a 2.2 pounds pack that once cost 12 Canadian dollars is now $18. And chicken isn't in short supply. Farms in the U.S. and Canada are still producing. So why the hike? The answer lies in the cold chain, packaging, refrigerated transport, industrial freezers. All of that runs on expensive energy, imported materials, and labor. In early 2025, cold storage costs were up 22% over last year. So when you buy frozen chicken, you're also paying for a strained supply system. For many seniors and families, the choice becomes rice or chicken, protein or milk. In suburban Detroit, one single mom had to choose between sausages or 2 gallons of milk. They wouldn't both fit in her weekly budget. What's vanishing isn't just food. It's a sense of stability. And then there's coffee. More than just caffeine. For many, it's a ritual, a quiet comfort. Not long ago, a 3 pounds bag of Kirkland whole bean coffee cost $11 to $12. Now, it's over $21 in New York, Ohio, even Toronto. In some spots, it's nearing 24 Canadian dollars. That's almost double in just 6 months. But coffee beans aren't in short supply. Countries like Colombia and Ethiopia are still producing. The real issue is behind the scenes, rising shipping costs, port delays, fuel prices, and new tariffs. Starbucks, which roasts Kirkland's beans, had to renegotiate contracts this year, and prices jumped. How are people coping? Older folks share tips. Buy whole beans and grind at home. It's cheaper. Use light roast. It has more caffeine, so you need less. Some split large bags with neighbors. Small acts, but meaningful. When even a bottle of vitamins starts feeling like a luxury, you know something deeper is breaking. It's not just about money anymore. It's about losing the simple things that once felt certain, like eating well, staying healthy, and taking care of ourselves at home. Remember when vitamins were routine? A quiet act of self-care. Affordable, trusted, part of daily life, especially for older North Americans. But now, that $12 bottle of multivitamins? It's creeping up to $30. Coke 10, D3, omega-3 essentials for many seniors, now priced out of reach. And it's not because we're running out. Supplies from places like Peru and Germany are steady. The real problem? Hidden costs. New taxes on plastic, tariffs on bilingual labels, stricter inspections at U.S. ports. It's a ripple effect. Quiet, but relentless. The bottles look the same. The pills haven't changed. But the price and the system behind it has. Now, some seniors are cutting doses. Others skip them completely, choosing between supplements and food. And that choice isn't harmless. Miss your vitamin D? Your bones suffer. Skip Coke 10 on statins? You risk fatigue, brain fog, even worse. One retiree put it bluntly, I need food and vitamins. My budget says I can't have both. This isn't just about health. It's about dignity. About losing the everyday things that kept us steady. And even retail giants like Costco are feeling it. With 20 to 25% tariffs hitting imports, they've pulled product from Europe, Canada, Mexico, switching to suppliers in Thailand, India, Australia. But with that comes longer shipping, weaker supply chains, and fewer guarantees. Prices are rising across the board. Kirkland coffee, $12 is now $21. Chicken? Nearly doubled. Vitamins? Out of reach. Shoppers aren't making choices anymore. They're making sacrifices. So here's the real question. Are we just losing products? Or are we losing the little rituals that made life feel whole? This isn't just about inflation. It's about the quiet cost on our routines, our health, and our trust in a system that once felt reliable. Are you feeling this too? Drop a comment and share your story. Let's talk about what's really slipping away before it's gone. This was just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button and buckle up. Digital Garage has so much more in store.